is sponsored by Skechers.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the biggest show on YouTube. This is the biggest running podcast in the world, Galaxy, and we are here to entertain you for the next 60 minutes. We're also going to be finding out why Hayden has turned his camera off. There he is. Don't panic. He's here. The smallest man with the biggest tan is back. Do you know that, Hayden? Right, okay, so tonight we've got an action-packed show for you because it's our first live one. And Happy New Year, everybody. We've got our first live show of the year. So if you're watching this live, before I introduce the team, before we do all the usual stuff, I want you to get in there and say hello, okay? Make sure you jump in the chat and keep us busy. Questions, comments, whatever you want to talk about, we really don't care. So tonight, I've got a dream team with me. We've got running coach extraordinaire all the way back from Abu Dhabi. It's flown in special for tonight's show. We've got admin back. She's here to keep everybody on track. I think she's worried about what I'm going to say about sportshoes.com. But don't worry about that. We won't mention them. Look at her wince already. Hero. We've got the king of New Year's Eve quizzes. He's back by popular demand, freshly shaven, ready for a park run tomorrow.
Yeah, looking soon.
Mr. Wilkinson himself. You all right, Wilco?
I'm very well, mate.
And like I said, we've got the smallest man with the biggest tan. He's there. He's looking handsome. Apparently, he's looking slim. I caught up with a conversation as I joined this in the green room. 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes before we went on. He was getting a compliment about how slim he looks. So let us know in the comments. Does Hayden look slimmer? Yeah, look.
See?
I'll be honest with you. I probably shouldn't say. Hayden, let's mute him for a sec. I was speaking to his wife over Christmas. Apparently, he's been doing Botox again.
Oh.
We're not going to talk about it. Anyway. Right, so tonight, we are going to be talking about, amongst other things, including your race reviews and catching up with the team and all that sort of stuff. We're going to talk about mindset because we want to get you set for the new year. We want to get you ready. We want you to embrace positive thinking. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that in the sort of second half of the show. Let's talk about it like that. After this, we're going to be recording a email special that's going to go out on the weekend of the National Running Show, but we'll come on to all that. So lastly, before we get to the team, I've got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Skechers, skechers.co.uk. Thank them very much for supporting the podcast. Get over to skechers.co.uk and smash the life out of that. And I'm going to give a shout out to Start Fitness as well. Use the code 40 runs because they announced again today they're going to be sponsoring the Blade and Races, which is a fantastic event. Hayden and I were lucky enough to go and do that. If you've not seen the video, I would thoroughly recommend you watching that. We did what was it, summer tour, Hayden, wasn't it? And we went up there and
basically, yeah,
600 miles for your entertainment. So that's it really. So team, we've assembled for the first time. Now, before we get into how you're doing, I've got important questions to ask. What are you wincing for?
Because
I haven't even mentioned out for Fly Free yet. I'm coming on to that.
Stop.
New Year's resolutions. Right. And I'm going to do something else afterwards. Wilco.
Yeah.
New Year's resolution. Go.
I'm going to try and do a lot more strength training. I've got myself some dumbbells for Christmas.
Right.
Was on my list. I've done a couple of sessions with them already.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and do a bit at least once a week.
Yeah.
Just to do something a bit different and do a bit more exercise, but not necessarily running.
Where are you going to get? Who's just said 40 using the same jokes in 2020?
he's a hero.
I can't block you. Now, Wilco, where are you going to get the stuff to do those? So if
What do you mean?
somebody else has got them, like Daisy's got her dumbbells next door. She's got some for Christmas because she wants to work out. Where should she go online? And what have you got a program or what are you doing?
No, I just sort of like had a little swan around via Google for dumbbell sessions for runners and picked up a few videos and just sort of like did things that I could possibly do within the confines of my flat because I've got a particularly low ceiling. So I'm unable to sort of lift much above my head through fear of going through it and going through the flat upstairs. So, so I'm going to give it a go. See how it
Good
goes.
for you, mate. Good for you. Admin, are you going to go out less in terms of restaurants in 2024? Less holidays?
No, definitely not less holidays.
Right.
No, not less eating out. Mine's really simple. Drink more water.
Oh, I thought you was going to say actually do some running toe part 2.
That probably would help as well. But I don't drink enough at all. It's terrible. So I need to have a bottle of water and keep drinking it. Simple.
Okay. Before we get on to Hayden, let us know in the comments what your New Year's resolutions is. I've just seen Alf. No Facebook. Not the worst thing you could do. Right, Hayden.
Yeah.
What's yours? Apart from spending less time on the sunbed, what's yours?
I've been threatening to do this for ages. Now, literally, they just come to me. My friends do it for ages. This is going to be the year. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it tonight. I'm going to get rid of you from my Facebook account.
Everyone's New Year's resolutions block Chris Ford.
Yeah.
Just on, hold on, can I just clarify? Just on Facebook, or is he going off of Strava and everything? Is it one by one, or
the phone?
We'll start with Facebook. We'll see how we get on, see if he behaves. If he behaves, I'll give him 3 months. If he gets better, then I might slowly introduce him back in, like restricted.
Right.
Well, I'm not on probation.
Yeah.
Because Toby blocked me on Strava. You know that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did I tell you that? He has genuinely blocked me on Strava because I keep commenting on all these runs. It's like because there's so few and far between. And then I start tagging people on his runs. He gets really upset with that. So I really would not recommend following Toby Frost on Strava because he hates getting comments on his runs. Okay, that's for all you live viewers. If you're on the pod, I was winking a lot then. Okay, right. So we've got.
What about you?
Yeah.
What did I say to Nick? I can't remember where he was. It was some old tut. I probably won't last. I was going to try and lose weight before we started the crisps. What?
Less ideas. I think that should be.
No, I've had brilliant ideas.
Few ideas.
I've had some genius ideas. I had a genius idea. What was it the other day, Hayden? I had another genius idea.
No, you didn't. It wasn't genius. No.
Wasn't it? Oh. Anyway, so less ideas is what you're saying?
Yes.
Not sure I could do that. Right, okay, so what I want you to do now, admin, I've got a question for you, serious question.
Yeah.
Have you got your Garmin watch back?
It is in this flat.
Go and get it.
I don't know where it
We're going to
is.
see over the year, we're going to mark it out now, and every time we get a new host on, we're going to ask them in the first part of the year, find out what they're saying, and then at the end of the year, we're going to check back to see if they
I didn't wear it in the whole of 2023.
don't really care.
All right, give me a second. I'm going to find it.
Wilco, what's your watch saying? What are you
It's
going
telling
for?
the time.
You doing marathon? You back marathon running again?
Yeah, I'm going to do a couple of marathons hopefully this year.
Right. So currently, what's your watch saying?
Well, it's telling the time.
Yeah. Apart from that, they're giving you.
Well, what do you mean? What's it saying? You're going to have to be a little bit more specific, mate.
I want your marathon prediction time.
Oh, I don't know how to get that.
What are you on, Garmin?
Yeah.
Hayden, tell him how to get it.
I only got a new one.
I'm going to go and get mine. Hayden, you tell him how to do it.
Well, it depends what watch he's got, doesn't it?
Just tell him.
I've got a 255. See, this is why we should have editorial
Wilco,
meetings.
Wilco, I'll let you into a little secret. The best thing to do is really underdo it, or he's going to hammer you. He's back.
Editorial meetings are for polished, professional podcasts, which we are not. But remember, they're the ones who make up the questions, so then they pretend to read it out and say, look smart. That's not us. Right, Hayden, you got yours while Wilco works it out.
I haven't
I
got it
don't
right
know
now,
how to
but
do it.
I did look at mine on New Year's Day, funny enough.
What do you say? Marathon time.
Marathon time said 3:22.
3:22. You got slower.
I haven't run for like 6 weeks. That's why.
Ain't my problem. I ain't run for 2 weeks. Right, Wilco, if you press the middle button,
Yeah.
right, it should come up with like a load of gear like this, like telling you how awesome you are and stuff. And
I'll tell you what.
Done stuff.
I'll Google it and follow it, and then I'll tell you a bit later.
Right, Admin, what's yours saying?
It don't even turn on. It's dead.
Oh, absolute waste of time.
I'll tell you what.
Right, so mine at the moment, I haven't run for 2 weeks. Marathon 3:38:56.
All right.
PB, isn't it?
Yeah. Hang on, 3:38:56 at the moment. So I need. It'd be interesting to see how I do versus that. Interestingly, the half at the moment was I think 1:37, which is slower. 1:37:39, which is slower than my half PB. So it's interesting, isn't it? So it tells me that I'm out of shape. I've been eating too much. Right, should we move on?
I will switch this on after the show, and I'll post what it says.
Do we want to know? It's a genuine question. We want to
Yeah,
know.
I'll let you know.
So, teams, in terms of this year, have you found sort of getting back into the swing of things? The reason I bring this up is because Hayden and I had a convo the other day about this, because he hadn't really done much running since New York. Hayden will talk about it in a sec, but he's not done much. I've struggled. Obviously, I've been sick with the flu, COVID, whatever it was, for 2 weeks. So my training's not started. So I feel like worst shape I've ever been in, even though probably not. Abby, where are you with your running at the moment?
It's pretty non-existent, if I'm honest. It's been really, really fragmented, I guess. I've been away. I did manage to run once whilst I was away, which was actually brilliant. Some of you know, I went and ran around the F1 track in Abu Dhabi, which was absolutely brilliant. The fact they open it for free is incredible. But yeah, I'm lacking a bit of motivation, if I'm honest. I'm finding this year harder than ever. The cold and the dark mornings and the dark night, because I keep waking up going, oh, I'll get out I'm a morning runner, we know this. I'm happy to go at 6, half 6, whenever. But it just feels so much, it's going to sound stupid, it feels so much darker that it's really, really making me kind of go, oh, I just don't feel like getting out. So I'm genuinely looking forward to our satellites being back up and running next week, the ones that we do, because I think that'll be the motivation I need to actually get out with some people. And it's funny, this is going to sound, I think I'm also feeling I'm more aware of my surroundings this year, and feeling, which sounds really silly, but actually as a woman on your own, kind of going, oh, 6 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, it's okay. Do I feel okay going out on my own? No, not really. So that's definitely having an impact as well. You hear so many stories and so many things that, that kind of, there's a few things that I'm kind of going, right, I need to get a bit of confidence back and just get out there, I think. So
So I was looking on, I think there's a Runner's World article, Strava threw out all these stats. One of the biggest stats they threw out was one of the biggest issues of the whole of last year talked about women's safety and women not feeling safe going out as soon as it gets dark. It was the most talked about thing. And the percentage of women that's gone up that now don't feel safe is like, it's absolutely like multiplied by about 6 or 7 compared to what it was like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Really, really, it's a really good thing.
It's an alarming amount. I would say on that, and it's not applicable to everybody.
Yeah.
But I would say for you ladies, just have a think about it. Have you got access to a treadmill? Now, I know the treadmill, right, in a gym full of sweaty blokes looking at their beards in front of the mirror like this, hardcore, like that. But it can be off-putting because I don't like it. I've well documented how much I hate the gym and the people that go into them. But on a serious point, it's something to think about. It's something to consider. I don't shell out 600 notes for it to go dusty. No. Like somebody amazing I know has done that. But it is worth. We'll go no, Tommy. But it is worth on a serious point. Maybe you haven't thought of that, but I'll be back in there next week. Treadmill. You can get on there. You can do some intervals on there. You can mix it up. It doesn't necessarily need to be as dreadful as the treadmill is. It is one way of doing something. Yeah,
I genuinely thought about that yesterday or the day before, and I thought you can get some pretty cheapish, like monthly ones, like one of the like more low cost ones, so you're not spending 60-70 quid a month. It's a lot of money otherwise, but just over the winter months one you can cancel. So that's definitely something I'm considering, because I'm on my own struggling to get out, and even if you can get in the gym for an hour on a treadmill,
I think it's brilliant that you brought that up.
Sorry, can I ask you a question about on the treadmill? Can you really do intervals?
Yeah.
See, I know obviously you can adjust your pace, you can do that sort of thing. But I went on treadmill about a week ago. I thought I'd just go on, there's a bit of a warm up. And I thought I'd go a bit faster. It started getting louder.
Can you reach the buttons?
Just about. So I was whacking, almost like I'm whacking the floor. It just felt louder, and I felt people were looking round. I thought, there's no way I'm doing anything too fast on this. So it didn't feel like a treadmill was set up to do intervals.
Yeah, I think if you can get the right program on it, right, it is quite useful. I mean, it can literally be as simple as do a warm up on it, whatever pace feels reasonable in terms of raising your heart rate. Smack it up as hard as you can take it, like count 60 seconds, bring it right back down again, recover. If I'm talking doing it manually, if you can't find the program, and literally just smash the life out of it in terms of up and down, it can be literally as simple as that. And it is a good workout. Yes, you can argue that it doesn't replicate true road running and all that kind. I get all that, but it's a useful tool to do. And I just think it is what, in terms of the conversation you guys were having, I think it's something maybe to consider. Again, cost of gym, right, it is astronomical, but there's some good deals out there at the moment. They want you in the gym. They know it's the time of year when people are going to go in the gym. Some of them are even doing 3 months for free. Go and smash them, right, and then sack it off after 3 months. You know what I mean? Take advantage. So what are they going to do about it? Nothing. So maybe do that. So that's just something. But that's a really good point. Really good topic.
Yeah, but also just it's not a plug, but the satellite groups are great. But even parkrun on a Saturday morning, it just gives people a place to go where you're not on your own and just tens, hundreds of people around you. So yeah,
that's another good chat actually.
Yeah.
In terms of promoting us for change, satellite groups, all over the country, 40 of them, more coming. They're free. They're there. Just get along and smash the life out of them.
Yeah.
And there's people there. There's going to be people there turning up every week, and that's open to everybody. It doesn't matter with you, who you are, what your background is. We don't care. So that's another good chat as well. Right, Wilco. What about you? Where are you in your? I know you smashed the living daylights out of last year, but in terms of sort of getting into the match fit stage,
well,
where are you at?
I've not had a good week really.
No?
I've been for many of the issues that Sabrina's already touched upon, that I'm out of my routine. My routine at work's been different because I've got this weekend off, and I tend to work one day at the weekend. So often I'll have a day off in the week, and that's the time when I'll go out and do a decent run and things like that. Work's been really busy. I haven't had the option to do that. I've been really keen to go out, sort of like I've gone to bed, thought, right, okay, I'll get up tomorrow. I'll go out. It'd be great. Look at the curtains. It's crashing down with rain and it's dark and it's horrible. And then it's a big rush to get done before work starts. And then I've lost my enthusiasm for all that now. But what I've tried to do is thought, well, the run is just not happening this week. What else can I do? So I've been doing a bit of YouTube yoga. I've been had my weights out, just been trying to do something different just to keep me occupied and make me feel that I'm not just sort of laying on the sofa eating heroes and watching the darts. I'm actually doing something. So that's what I've tried to do, for the last, and I've missed the routine of the satellite groups. My yoga class on a Monday doesn't start again till next week. And living on my own and not going into the office, I've hardly seen anybody all week either. So that's not helped either. So I've got marathon training for Leeds starts on the 22nd, and it cannot happen early enough, really. I really want to get cracking on.
Yeah, nice. But just, Wilco, I know you've had a tough week, like you said, but you've had a phenomenal few weeks before that. So don't be hard on yourself not getting out.
Oh, no, I'm not. I think, and to be fair, I'll probably look back. I might look back because we did at the start of that week, start of last week, last Saturday, we did Buntingford. We did a 10-mile at Buntingford, which went well, which was okay. And I saw a few people and stuff like that. I think I'll look back on this week and think, you know what, that was quite a good idea that I only went out and did 4 miles on Wednesday and then went to park run on Saturday, because I'm doing a half marathon on Sunday as well. I'll probably look back on it and think it'll be it'll be okay, and it'll turn out to be a good thing. But really, I just want to, I just like to say to people, I'm sure I'm not the only person who, who's felt like that over this week. And I'd like to think that people who are on here, who are listening, might think it might help them, make them feel a little bit better. Think, oh, well, it's not just me.
This is why I wanted to talk about it.
I think all 4 of us have said, really that, oh yeah, well, we've had Christmas, we've been a bit sluggish afterwards, and we did loads in 2023, and now it's all caught up with us a bit. I've had a bit of a stinking cold, felt knackered and aching, and you've got to switch off a little bit.
But the thing is, and that's why we will come on to it. These mindset hacks, right? Which this is brilliant, by the way, because this is leading into what we're going to talk about. The couple of things to sort of bring into your life or bring into your running journey, we're going to give you in just a bit. But it is interesting. That's why I wanted to start the convo this week along these lines. Now, Hayden, so to bring it, you and I had a discussion because, you know, after your sort of finish to the year, where I think you did a couple of races and got a couple of medals or something. You then took some downtime, but you like me, because we spoke about it, feel like we're starting from nothing. Mr. 6-star major winner, you know, sensation is probably the best way to describe it. But honestly, you felt a bit flat, and you've now trying to get back into it, and get back in the saddle.
Yeah, but there's a couple of elements to it. First of all, I think we all know, everyone listening though, the weather is absolutely
shocking.
It is horrible. Just to look out there is so bad. And that doesn't help. That's not just running, that's everyday life. Even going down the shops, taking the dog for a walk, you don't want to do any of it. It's just horrible. That side of things don't help. It obviously didn't help the fact that obviously he had a great end to the year and thought, I'm going to take it a bit easier. So come back into January and start thinking about marathon training, and went out there and just felt hard. If not, it felt hard. I got back and everything isn't about times, I know, but I'm looking at my watch, looking at my splits and thinking, that didn't feel like that sort of race. That felt like so much harder and faster than it was. And I just realised then, I thought, it's either I'm really unfit or maybe my watch is playing up. I went with that one in the end. I don't know, just something's not right. And just to get that motivation back, it's going to be hard, especially when the weather's like this and the nights are cold. When you work all day, literally, I go to work when it's pitch black.
Yeah.
I come home and it's pitch black. So all you've got is the weekends, really, and trying to fit in family life and everything else. It's really hard, and you forget. I think, though, to be fair, I wonder if we had a look back at maybe a podcast first week of January last year. I wonder if we're all saying the same. It's the same every year, but we just almost like forget how tough it is to get back out there and get back on the horse.
Yeah, probably do. This is not uncommon, right? I mean, we do a lot of races and events versus probably, the everyday runner. We do a lot of them on here. I mean, we're quite open about how many and probably too many stuff we do, right? I mean, I just look at my year already this year. It's stupid how much stuff I've got. And most normal people wouldn't necessarily do that. Although, and we've said it a million times, I do think I benefit and we benefit from having stuff in the diary, right? Because that does, you know, you just said it's tough to get going, but I know that I've got London Marathon in, well, it'll be 15 weeks. So I've got to get off the sofa and stop eating crisps. You know what I mean? You've got to do something. Otherwise, well, maybe I don't have to. Anyway, but it is hard, but then you feel like, not under pressure, but it's like, it's a bit of a heck, but I totally get you. The weather. Now, I know I appreciate some people are listening to this in Peru, and we're massive #1 running podcast in Malaysia and all this sort of stuff, right? And this is just awesome, you know, national treasures in Malta. But over here in the UK, it's just been wet for forever, like basically since August. So I think it is even harder this time of year with everything that's going on. That's why red's a good idea, I would say. If you're not doing, you're not training for anything specific, red's always a good idea. Seems to have got less publicity this year. I might be wrong.
100%.
I thought that.
I don't know whether that movement. Again, I'm probably so far off of this, right? But as with everything, I get shown a billion things on because they force it on you. But this year, I don't seem to have been shown so much about red or anything about red. I think it's amazing how many people do it, and I would recommend doing it. But I just think it's a bit weird. I've not seen so much about it. But maybe that's because, like, I'm getting shown stuff by CBD companies that started running clubs and all this sort of stuff.
But then also, you talk about like red and stuff like that. See, I'm doing yoga every day.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. Now I've done 5 days of that out of the 30. So that's something just to, because I finish work, I think, right, okay, before I have my tea, I'll do me half an hour. My mat's out, and I'll do it.
Well, Ben's a big believer in
so that just gives you something.
Isn't he?
I've started doing. I'm going to a class once a week, and I really enjoy it. Really find the benefit of it. It fits. Not only does it, I believe, help, with my running and everything, but it also helps with me socially and getting out and filling a hole in my diary. Sorry, yes, Chris.
Very, 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 very serious question about that. I mean, turn your camera.
It's not going to be serious, is it? You know you shouldn't say this.
When you do the yoga, do you blow off a lot? When I went to yoga once, right, all it was people farting. No, it's true. I just want to know if that's something that you've encountered.
No, it isn't, Chris. No.
So that was just me then. That'd be it. Imagine if Toad went to do yoga. Anyway, right. So let's get back on track.
Actually, talking about, maybe we should be talking about rear ends, as to speak, but Lloyd's brought it up in the comments as well. I see that's something I didn't refer to as well. I have actually started a little bit of cycling.
Oh,
I've December done a bit of indoor cycling, and the rear end is not very comfortable. I'm finding it really, really, really tough to get used to this saddle. Everyone keeps saying, you'll get used to it, keep going, keep going. I'd like to know when. I'll tell you what, it bloody hurts.
are you doing inside or outside? Are you on an actual road bike? Yeah, inside.
Purely inside at the moment, yeah.
It's just a complete waste of time. Cycling's brilliant, right? Cycling. So I class in the gym as cycling, right? Okay, because you're doing something. Outside biking, waste of time. I nearly got run over again today by some idiot who decided to go through red light, even though it says red light. Why are you still biking through it? You know what I mean? That's what's that all about. But it is good. I've got to be honest with you, because I always am. I'm when I get back in the gym next week, I will do 30 minutes on the bike. Nothing crazy, but I will do 30 minutes on the bike. But I won't go out on the roads because I refuse to. There you go. What about that? Are you doing any biking this year?
Yeah, I am. I've bought a bike. So I bought a bike, sent it straight to Simon's house. He has built it for me. It's in his garage.
I've done it all by myself.
Bless him. He's a hero. He put it together for me. It's in his garage. He went, do you want to come and see it after a run one day? I was like, oh, yeah, actually. I've had a look at it. Looks great. Haven't touched it.
Brilliant.
So
that's the best bit of biking you can do. Just look at it. Mine's in the garage. I look at it every time I reach over to put another pair of shoes on the rack.
No, I am going to get out on the bike actually this year. That is, it's happening. I will be.
Can I film it?
Ride 100.
When they film me, can I film it?
You can film it if you want.
They film me when I fell off and all that sort of stuff.
I actually think it's quite scary, if I'm honest. I said this to Petra the other day and Toby. I said it's actually really, really scary. Like I used to cycle loads as a kid, and suddenly you get on it, your posture's completely different. How you sit on a road bike.
It's awful.
Petra, I'm actually quite scared about this. But
why should do it? It should be made illegal.
No, look, I like a challenge, as we know, and so it's something different. Let's just get on with it.
Better things
right?
to do.
That when all your mates are doing it.
Right, yeah, I suppose so. Wilco, I mean, I've just seen the chat, and thanks everybody for lighting up the chat. We really appreciate you tuning in live and joining us and getting involved. Is there anything interesting in there, or should we? Because we've been going for 30 minutes already, adding value.
Yeah. God, blimey, 30 minutes.
We haven't even spoke about what minutes. Well, kind of have actually, to be honest.
There is actually a question from a Facebook user, but the name isn't there, saying hi.
Oh, I didn't put the link in.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
But this person, a Facebook user, let us know your name. Hi team, my times have slipped since the start of last year, and I'm struggling with reasons why I've even upped my intervals, but it's stressed me out. Just need advice, guys.
What was that? I weren't listening.
Basically, their times have slipped a bit. They've even started like upping the intervals, but they're not seeing any kind of
it's not happening
progress. Any advice?
Yeah. So how many times of running are you week? Running? Are you running a week? How consistent have you been? Just because you're doing it like hitting a hard session once a week won't give you results. You need to be looking at all the running that you're doing, making sure that everything's got a purpose, even though if it's just going out easy, getting some miles in at like, I don't know, 30, 45, 60 minutes once a week. Are you doing that super easy? Are you building that aerobic base? Are you doing this? Are you doing any form of like medium effort? So you're sort of leaning on yourself a little bit, but you're not stressing your body too much. How much endurance work are you doing? How much hills work are you doing? You know, they're the sort of things that will actually make a difference. And, you know, by putting a little bit of pressure on other parts of your running as well, you know, to do a little bit quicker stuff in some of those longer runs, that will help. And that ultimately will bring it down. But what will get you faster is consistency. Number one. And to be honest with you, even if you just didn't do any speed sessions, but you went out 3 or 4 times a week, but you went out and you was Mr. and Mrs. consistent in terms of, and you varied your paces, that would ultimately bring your pace down, because you're going to get fitter, so you will naturally get faster. Look at your form. Are you working on your form? Are you like hunched over, looking at the floor, praying for dear life? as you're running along hitting those intervals. That won't help you. Look at your form, make yourself more efficient. Stand up, be strong. Look back. Are you doing any work in the gym? How much conditioning work are you doing? How much cross training work are you doing? All these things will help you get faster. But I'm telling you now, if you get consistent, that ultimately will lead to more speed.
Yeah. Thanks for that. And just a quick one, Jack, we are not answering your question about Alpha. Absolutely not. Jack, if you want to ask that, you can tune in to Bite Size with Chris on Monday night at 8 o'clock when I'm not there to mediate this conversation.
Yeah, me too.
Jack,
absolutely not.
Jack, I'll tell you a little secret. I'm banned from talking about them. I'm so angry.
No.
I will discuss it on Monday because I may have calmed down.
All right.
But I am still absolutely boiling with said company. How they can do that to people. I left a comment on their Instagram. You're welcome. No, I did, Amy. It was quite nice.
No, I bet it wasn't.
Well, it kind of was like, no one's ever going to shop here again, sort of thing.
Did you think, what would admin say when you wrote that?
I did, and I toned it down because what I was going to write, like I said to you, I did stop a lot because I wanted to go 2-footed because they deserved it. But I was very well. But so, Jack, I am not allowed to talk about that, even though I kind of did. But I've not mentioned the company. No, I better not. I'll talk about it on Monday till the cars come up because I should have mine by then. Although they'll be slightly different colour because Wilco's making me go to some rubbish event on Sunday. No,
how do you know it's going to be rubbish? How do you know it's going to be
rubbish?
No, I didn't. How do you know it's going to be rubbish till you get there, till you do it?
You told me it's going to be muddy and it's going to be on grass.
And why is that rubbish?
It's rubbish.
Tell you what, look, you don't want to run in a puddle. You don't want to go up a hill. You don't want to get your trainers dirty. You don't like getting your trainers dirty. Get a treadmill.
Yeah, it's a brilliant idea. I might do 30 miles on the trip. I did do 30
Do that.
miles.
They'll be nice and bright and white then.
They will not be.
But don't wear them. Wear something else. Wear them next week.
Is it flat, this route, by the way?
I've got no idea. I don't care.
I doubt it.
It can't be that hilly round there.
Welling's not flat.
Is it not flat?
All right, it's not Amsterdam, but it's not going to be that hilly.
Hayden, they're making me up. They're making me go and do this well in half. I've been talked into all these events by Ben, by the way. Absolutely slingshotting me into all this. And he sent me this message today, or I think it was him, or one of them. Oh, by the way, we've got this little grass section. I went, what do you mean little grass section? I'm thinking, all right, bit tricky, stuff. That's a mile and a half. What's that all about?
Is it?
If I wanted to do cross country, I'd start a YouTube channel, put a sore vest on, and go down there and do it. But I'm not into that. So why would I do that? I don't like running on grass for a mile and a half in my new Alpha Flies.
But that way you
I didn't get from said shop. Right.
Anyway, you can hear all about this next week when Chris comes back and reports back on his experience at the Welling Half Marathon.
I might slip on the mud section that it's going to be. Right. Anyway, look. So following on from what we were talking about, because it is interesting, bringing it all the way back to being sensible again. It is kind of interesting in terms of the mindset at the moment of the everyday runner, because you've got here collectively probably the beating heartbeat of the everyday runner at the moment. It's that I know I should go out, but I don't really want to because it's raining. I've got a training block to start, but I'd much rather sit home and eat crisps. And it is that sort of, I need to lose a bit of weight because I want to do this because I've got, it is that kind of, you're fighting the fact that you want to run, but you can't be asked sort of thing, because you've got out of the habit. You've got out of that consistency that you had at the end of last year, right? So that's why I wanted to bring in this week in terms of, I wouldn't say we've got like a silver bullet here or anything, right? At all. But what I did was I just put a couple of things together to sort of spark a conversation with the guys, right? And the first thing that I thought of when thinking about mindset in this new year, because I knew, because I'm smart, I knew that this would be the conversation in terms of where they were at, because that's where I'm at. And I think the first thing that I thought of when in this sort of rut is the wrong word because that sounds a little bit too negative, but when we're sort of on the fence, is to set yourself clear and achievable goals in terms of a mindset. Now, that can be literally on a day-by-day basis in terms of your running, or even a week-by-week basis. By giving yourself something that's quite far out, so let's say you are training for the London Marathon, or you've got London Landmarks half marathon, whatever it is, and it's a little bit further away. When it's a little bit further away, it's less likely to bother you that much than something that's like right here, yeah? So by giving yourself clear and achievable goals on a week-by-week basis can actually start to change that mindset. And that's half the battle with this, right? Where we are this time of year is changing that mindset. So hopefully these things that I'm going to talk about help. So you guys, how much do you, let's start with you, admin. How much do you set yourself or look at your week and go, I want to try and get this done this week?
Yeah, I do. I tend to at the beginning of the week or at the weekend, so Sunday, usually go, right, what's my week looking like? What's work looking like? What days can I get out and run? And roughly, how far do I think I can go? But I've definitely got to a place where I as well don't put too much pressure on myself. So if that run needs to go from 10K to 5K or 5 miles to 3 miles, that's okay. Or actually, if I go, actually, I've got time to do 5 miles on that day instead, great. But I definitely try more often than not to plot out which days I can run as a starting point, because otherwise I feel like that gives me a bit of structure to go, right, these are days I'm going to run and this is when I'm going to get out and where I am. So
mini goals.
Yeah.
Just getting the distance done or getting that
exactly.
run done. Yeah, I agree. What about you, Wilco? Do you set yourself, clear and achievable goals, but like let's say short-term goals, just to get you? Have you ever done that to sort of get you out the door?
I think we've talked about over the last sort of 6 months or so about the consistency and all that I've been running and things like that. It's because my weeks are very regulated, and I like to fit things in to sort of, which is why I started the yoga, because I thought, right, I do nothing on a Monday. What could I do on a Monday? And then I found something to put in on a Monday night, an activity, so I could go and do it. And that's been the problem this week, that all the regular things aren't happening. So I always know that I'm going to go to yoga on Monday. Monday morning, always, I go out I do a recovery run. I do 4 miles. I do the same 4-mile loop up and down the river. I always do that. So a lot of these things are all tend to be set in stone anyway. Tuesday, we go to Hartford. Wednesday's my day in the office. I go up and meet with Sue afterwards, and the London satellite, and go out with them, because I know I'm going to get it's 2K there, 2K back, 5K. I'm going to get a sort of like an easy 9K, and that's going to be fine as well. So I've always got those sort of like the regulation in the thing.
What about you, Hayden?
Yeah, well, I think we spoke about it before about mileage-wise. I'm not a massive mileage monster. So I'll never during the week, it'd be very rare that I'll ever run for more than an hour. Yeah. So whether that takes me to whatever, 8K, 10K, 12K, whatever it takes me to, I won't run more than an hour, because if I know sort of now, like if coming from work today, I think, bloody hell, I've got an hour and 40-minute run, I'm going to really, really struggle mentally. Whereas if I try to keep everything around that hour mark or just under, I have got that mindset where I think it's just an hour. So if I'm home from work 5:30, get changed, get out, I'm going to be back indoors by 6:30. And then that doesn't seem to take as much out of your day. And for me, mindset-wise, that works. And the weekends, I just feel as though you're not at work. So when you've got that long run, everything's sort of based around that and build up to that. That doesn't hurt as much, thinking about it, and you're more motivated. For me, it's just that midweek, especially when it's dark and it's cold and it's wet. If I try and keep them runs to under an hour, psychologically, I've got that. But if you literally...
And that's a good point, because that leads me on to sort of the second hack, I would say. Or not hack, but something to think about in terms of this change in mindset for the start of the year, is to break the runs down into smaller, manageable chunks. So, like you just said, you're going to say, right, I'm only going to do X. So you haven't got the pressure of going, this week I've got to try and get 10K done here. I've got to try and get that. You turn around and said, actually, no, I'm going to do this. And it's that managing it in your mind, breaking it down, putting it into windows, using time instead of distance, right? Or classic example, I'm only going to run to there, which is probably about 2.5K, whatever, or a mile and a half, and breaking it down into smaller manageable. And it's the same. Listen, these are all things that you can use if you're then going off and doing training for, an ultra like me, being a hero, or off couch to 5K. It doesn't matter what you're doing. I mean, this is stuff that will help you, in terms of your running journey in general. But do you find, Wilco, breaking it down into more manageable chunks helps you week by week? Or
I think I live my life like that anyway. I try and check whatever I'm doing. I try to not look too far ahead, and so things become intimidating. Mainly because I think through work, because I don't have projects that go on for day to day. We have a newspaper, we get it out, and then the next day we start again, and then we do it again. So naturally, my life is divided up into chunks anyway.
Yeah.
So
what about you, Abby?
Yeah, I have to chunk it up. Small chunks, little and often, way better than thinking about 10 weeks down the line.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good to have a goal in mind,
Yeah.
right? But don't let it feel overwhelming.
Yeah, that's the worst thing, is that overwhelming sensation of, and we all get it, right? I mean, it doesn't matter, getting catch to 5K, you're on week 3, and you're like, how the hell am I going to be able to carry on and get to 5K? It gets to you, but again, it's just breaking it down. Look at that. What that walk pattern, that walk stretch, the amount of walking you're going to do is going to be, and focus on those 30 seconds.
I also think, like we talked about this with plans and things like that. When I hear things like people on plans say, "Oh yeah, well there's a 10-mile race, but I've got to do 12 miles that day," and just run it a bit harder, or just it's not going to matter that you don't have to do these things. And sometimes the whole aim of things like that, it can just engulf you, and then you just don't want to do anything. Just think, well, do I want to do 12 miles? I'll do a 12-mile run because it says so on my plan, or do I want to do a 10-mile run and have a good day with my mates? And get more of it out of it like that.
It all comes with experience, doesn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Like, we're so lucky that we've all been running for a couple of years now, and we've been through all of these. Because I can tell you now, the first time I did a training block, I was like, I have to do everything this says to a T, right? There was nothing in my mind and I literally thought, if I miss that run or don't do that, it's all going to fall apart, right? And then you learn by experience and by being part of a community and talking to other people and go, actually, if I run 2 miles less that week, like Hayden said, you're not a massive mileage monster. You just get what you get done, right? And consistency and all the other stuff. There are things that are way more important, like being consistent and actually enjoying it, that are way more important than running an extra 5 miles that week. I can tell you that now, because if you enjoy it, you're feeling good, you're going to feel way better about getting out the following week.
Absolutely.
And that brings me actually onto, now this is going to be a bit random, but I actually thought about this. Now this is, it's not as random as the yoga question. Hayden, how much do you use visualization in your training? Do you like what I'm going on about? So I will visualize me doing those 20 miles and doing them and finishing in a way that I feel that I feel like I've done a good job. I will visualize those 18 miles, what that's going to come up. I will visualize what it will feel like when I cross the line in the 50-mile ultra that Petra's made me do. There's millions of really positive things that can come from visualization of whatever you're struggling with. It can really help with plateau. So you visualize, you're actually lacing up your shoes, going down in the morning, getting your shoes on and going out the door before you go to bed. Like little tips like that. Now, I'm not and this is going to surprise a lot of you, I'm not like some doctor and all this, okay, despite me being, but it is really important. If you've not tried it, try it. Have you ever tried it, Hayden? Like visualization?
My whole, to be honest, everything I do, I run, I visualize without a shadow of a doubt. I never go out that door, put the headphones on, and imagine myself in the music, imagine myself dancing, and while I'm just running, I'm always thinking about where am I going to be at mile 6, where am I going to be at mile 7. I wonder if that's going to be there. I wonder if the pond is flooded when I get around to Bushy. Even when I'm doing like a real long run, even in races, marathons, we've got this thing, a park run to go. Yeah, I'm visualizing in my head thinking, as I'm going around Bushy Parkway now, that's 1 kilometre, that's 3 kilometres. I'm thinking, am I going to see deers out there today? That's what I'm doing all the time. That takes your mindset off any pain.
And I'll tell you what, and linked to that is when you're doing a race, I wonder if you did, I'm sure you did it. If you've got like 2 miles to go, I think, all right, well, that's Rye House and back, or something like that. So then I sort of like visualize that what I've got left in the race in terms of a route that I do once or twice a week sort of thing. So like the familiarity of, well, that's from my mum's house in Waterford to Hertford town centre, and then I'm sort of like going on and saying, right, I'm at the North Station now and I'm nearly there, so.
But my point is,
that helps you go.
But my point is if you've done that in a race, or you've done that on a long run, but right now you're struggling to get out the door because it's pissing down the rain or because of whatever, use that trick to visualize getting out, doing it. Yeah, and completing, and how awesome you felt when you completed that marathon.
When I do,
and visualize your training.
Yeah.
When I do manage to get out of my pit in the morning, you know, the night before, I always know exactly what route I'm going to take and what I'm going to do, because I'll have a rough idea of, oh yeah, well, I could do sort of like doing 4 or 5 miles. Oh, I'll do X, or I'll do so.
Yeah,
I always know where I'm going and what I'm going to be doing. I just don't do it.
Right, look, because there's something else I want to come on to. The last thing on this mindset thing, and I think it's a great way to sort of end this convo and close the book on it, is, and it's great to hear what you'll be speaking about, is because it's the power of positive thinking.
Yeah.
Because if you're in this mindset of, oh, it's raining outside, and Alfie said to Cowboys go in the rain, yeah, they do. Because I don't care if it's raining or not. I'm saddling up and moving on out, right? That horse is walking. So am I. So is my leather chaps. But the point is that going out, no matter what the weather, thinking about it positively. Oh, actually, I'm going to use this rain because you know what? It might rain on the London Marathon. Guess what?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? We joke about the course on Sunday, right? We joke about. I'm just mucking about as always. I'm looking forward to firstly getting back and doing some running, but I'm also looking forward to the challenge. If it is a bit hilly, if it is, that's going to do me good. Having that positive mental, and okay, I'm not trying to preach here, people, but what we're trying to say is if you're stuck in this sort of spiral of do I, don't I at the moment, like I think most of us are, yeah, then just thinking about it, just flipping that switch and going, you know what, sod it, I'm actually going to go out. Somebody just wrote, you know, I can't remember who it was. So there's a comment back here. I saw it. Mark Smith. I'm cowboying up and I'm off out. Easy 40 minutes should do. Bosh. There you go. So straight away, switched out of it. Off it goes. You know what? Here's start a streak now. Something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we talk about whether it's red or we talk about signing up for a race or we talk about whatever. But positivity right now.
Yeah.
And this is coming from me, who's one of the most negative people out there. Yeah. She's laughing. So it can be really, really powerful to switch it up, right? So I would say to all of you, right, and I'm not going to go back to them because I want to move on to something really more important now.
I've got one point.
Is if you are struggling like we have mentioned and where we've come from or where we want to get to, think about changing up that mentality. Think about thinking about stuff positive. So what if it's raining? So what if it's dark? I'm going to go on a treadmill. So what if it's bleeding freezing? It's minus 400. I'm going to go and try and get in the gym and do this, or I'm going to go on yoga and look up the 40 runs yoga thing that I can do at home. You know what I mean? That's the sort of thing. Change it up, make the best out of it. Think positively. You start that journey, get out there, get to parkrun, meet people, go along to the satellite group, meet people, get immersed in 40 runs, do that sort of stuff. Straight away, come along to Extreme Parkrun. You're going to be in a completely different mindset, and all these, you know, I can't be asked to get out of bed today, will be gone, and you'll be looking back and going, you know what? I wish I'd listened to FORDY. He's my hero. You're welcome, by the way. Okay, right.
One thing.
Oh, look, they all want to get in.
No, I want one thing. This is my biggest motivator for the rain, and this is the honest truth.
Yeah.
And it's so stupid. My biggest motivator for the rain is I get to wear one of my jackets. And that's what I look forward to. All my rain jackets, I've got loads of them.
Anywhere specific?
If it don't rain, I've got maybe
I've got a Boston one that I don't bother wearing.
Oh,
Tokyo one.
Oh, but that's a motivator for me. I never get to wear the rain jackets if it don't rain. So when it rains, I'm like, do you know what? I'll wear that rain jacket today.
I shelled out 200 quid.
We're in Tesco's.
Actually, Hayden, I've got something to tell you. I've still got a jacket of yours that I was meant to drop to you forever ago.
Oh, I know the one.
Yes. So I have actually got a Berlin jacket for you that you are owed. So I'm going to get that to you really, really soon, because then that'll be your motivation to go out that day.
That's right. Let's bring on the rain for next month. I'm sorted.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, no more rain.
I mean, actually, if you give it to me, just sort this out live on here. If you give it to me, I'll give it to him at Extreme Parkrun.
Yeah, there we go. It's on its way to you.
What's this? Any plans for coming south of the river for a parkrun? Hayden, that's your sort of manner, isn't it? You own that.
I'm south of the river every single weekend at parkrun.
Tell him where to go then.
We was down at Burgess Hill Park, loads of us, about 4 weeks ago.
There
South
you go,
London.
Michael. Get involved. Get on the Facebook group. If you're not on there, join the club, whatever, get involved. Right, now, turning it on its head. Very, very, very important. The next 5-10 minutes, okay? Serious point. Admin, over to you.
All right. This week, we've been talking about mindsets and all kinds of stuff, but it's been a pretty heavy week for our running community. It's really sad. We unfortunately lost 2 members of our community at the beginning of this week. One due to cancer and the other through, I think it was liver failure. So this is just to take a moment. I think it's really, really important that we reflect on that and what people are going through, because real life stuff happens out there day in, day out, and when it affects us and our own. And I think I saw so much kindness coming through in people's comments and communication and community really, really pulling together. But Kazan, obviously, who wore the FORDY name on her chest with such pride, volunteering at so many things and walking and running and just being an absolute beacon of this community in how she interacted with others and what she gave. And then obviously Lindsay Glasson as well, who has left behind a really young family, and that's come falling sick about 9 weeks ago. So both really tragic losses, and our hearts go out to them, their families. And yeah, so I think it's just really important that we take a moment to reflect and to address that, really, and to say that our hearts are with you, our condolences, and obviously we are here. And we talk about this all the time, that we're here and we're here for each other, and the community is. And please comment, talk to each other, reach out to the podcast, to our Instagram. If anyone needs to talk at any point, there are people that will be here for you. We're so fortunate that as a club, the actual FORDY Running Club has a committee that has welfare officers on it. So there are run leaders and coaches that are there for people to talk to. So I just wanted to really take a moment to
thanks.
to mention. It's hugely important.
Yeah, I 100% agree with all of that. And I think it's really important that we do take a moment to talk about it. Absolutely brilliant point about our welfare officers within the club framework. Nettie does an unbelievable job. Helped out with Helen as well. We have other welfare people as well within the club, mental health champions.
Yeah.
If you're struggling with anything, talk to somebody, talk to one of your run leaders, talk to somebody who's close to you. There's a lot of charities out there you can talk to. Your local NHS Wellbeing Centre. That's where I went to. I went down to the doctors, to the National Health Service, the Wellbeing Centre, and I got help down there. Spoke to somebody and set me on a path that I've found transforming. So I would really recommend that if you're struggling. But yeah, I just think it's worth. I also want to thank the community in the club for the support they showed. I think that's just an amazing thing to see. It's just in such heartache and heartbreak. Then to see the outpouring of love from, and a lot of it's strangers in a way, but not, because we're all interconnected through this amazing community and club that we have, that started off. And again, looking back 6-7 years ago, whatever it is now, to be able to think, wow, these people would then connect and support and love each other like they do. It's just amazing. So I just re-emphasize everything that Sabrina said. Our hearts go out to the families and everybody. There is a page, a link on the Facebook community where you can donate. It's entirely up to you if you want to do that. But yeah, it's heartbreaking. But thanks to everybody who's supported that. And then the circle of life, let's call it, the circle of the FORDY life.
Yeah.
It's weird how these things work. Hayden, you talk about the next thing.
Well, yeah, ironically, I think pretty sure it was all on the same day. So obviously the passing of the 2 ladies on the same day, and on the very same day at the start of the year, an avid listener of the show, the whole family, the Hallams, and Rebecca Hallam actually had a little baby girl. So as you said, it's almost like the FORDY circle of life. We have people leaving this world, we have people entering it, and there's tough times and there's sad times, there's times of hope, and it's just good to see
Yeah.
The little baby was born happy, and I know Rob's an avid listener of the Long Run show, so congratulations, Grandad Rob.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Congrats, guys. I still can't believe it. Right, it's one of the funniest things of last year was when we was at that park run. And we were sitting there, right, just standing there chatting away to everybody. And I went back and ran with Rebecca. She's like 8 months pregnant. I was like, don't worry about it. I made sure she's all right. Yeah, it was so funny. Bursting out here. So good. Great family, amazing people. And yeah, we're really pleased for you. So yeah, so we just wanted to bring that in at the end. And there we go. So right, guys. What do we do? Obviously, Wilco and I spoke about the worst race that we're doing on Sunday. I'm heading to Colchester tomorrow, and it looks like I'm going solo. I've just had a message from Toe, which I'm not happy about. So he's going to get a roke in because I can say the word in a minute. I'll see if I can drag someone else into coming with me because Ben's ditched me as well. Wilco, fancy a trip tomorrow? So I'm heading to Colchester. Hayden, fancy coming to Colchester? No, I'm not getting any takers here, am I? So I'm going to Colchester. Can somebody come along and say hi and hang out with me? Because I don't like running. And then I'm going to go and do the worst half marathon in the world. And it will be bad because I haven't run for 2 weeks. So I'm going to be blowing the whole way around because Ben's going to no doubtly try and break me, which he will do after about 3 miles. And I'll be screaming that way. Wilco, you're doing what part run are you going to do tomorrow? Because there's a lot of cancellations out there.
Yeah. Please, everybody, check the park run. Just Park run cancellations, stick that in Google and that will send you through to the right page. There's lots of there's a few round our way, Castle Park and Gunpowder have both gone. I'm going with Ben to the one in Winchmore Hill. Go for it, is it?
Hills and sounds horrible.
And
yeah, you like Barclay, something wrong with you.
I don't care.
That's the worst.
I just like getting out, mate. Just like getting out.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Admin, are you actually going to attempt to do any running this
week?
week?
Yeah, I am. I think I'm actually going to go to Nonsuch Park tomorrow.
Who?
Nonsuch. Really? Yeah.
Oh, that's Hayden's manor.
Oh no, sorry. Whoa. Cancelled.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. What one should she go to? I mean, what one you go? Aidan, what one you going to?
I'm going Bushy. Come down to Bushy.
Amy, go Bushy.
All right, I might have here at Bushy then. I'm this side of the river this weekend, so I
go Bushy.
Yeah, right. Nonsuch is cancelled. Right,
You'll hear her before you see her.
All right.
Mel's volunteer coordinator. You're definitely.
Yeah, it'll be a tight ship down there this weekend.
All right. Well, look, I might see you lot at Bushy in the morning then.
Is Bill going?
Yeah, he was saying he was going to run there.
Tell him I want under 20 minutes this week. It's cowboy up.
Joe, actually, admin, we'll talk after this because that's exactly what I'm doing. I might meet up with him.
All right, cool. Yeah. I'll let you know.
Oh, all right. What about me?
You ain't invited. You've been ditched.
Again, that's 5 people that ditch me.
No, actually, if you want to come here, you're more than welcome to.
No, I've got something to do now.
Oh, Colchester Castle Park.
No, I know that one. I'm doing the other one.
Oh, right.
I'm doing whatever one the other ones, but it sounds terrible, the other one, but I'm doing it. Whatever it is, I've got to do it. So I don't know what to expect. I've been told to park in a car park, in the Tesco's car park, which never sounds good. I know it sounds dodgy, me. I reckon I'm just getting out running around some grass field.
It can't be as bad as the day when Simon and Toby went, right, we're going on a secret mission. I was like, where are we going? Don't worry, we're just going to pick you up. Got to the park run, cancelled. There's no one there. I was like, where are we going? There's not a person in sight. It's like, brilliant. We've just come all the way here for nothing.
Yeah, but Toad got some porridge. Good news, by the way, listeners. Speak Out, he's back running.
Yeah,
is he?
Yeah, he's back running. He'll be no wonder he'll probably be doing 13 miles this weekend because he had a brilliant idea. His brilliant idea, Speak Out, was I'm going to run 13 miles everywhere. I'm not going to do any other running. And funny enough, he got injured. It's a remarkable thing, isn't it? Absolutely remarkable. And the best thing was he used to run those 30 miles with us at the worst possible pace. He was just absolutely stripping it. And we were just looking inside, we're like, this is just a disaster waiting to happen. The only person who was happy about it was Monica. Thanks very much, Toe. Just put your card on there. That's all it was. So you're going, you all your mates are hanging out. You're all your mates. So I'm flying solo, people. Come and see me at colchester.com. And then come and if you're doing the Welling half marathon, be prepared to hear someone moan for an hour and 45 minutes. That'd be me. But I will be there.
I haven't 45 minutes, eh?
Well, that's what Ben will make me try and run. Probably me like more than 45 minutes. I haven't run for a while. And I think that's it. Have we got anything else to
Do you know what? I think it's quite good. I was getting to the end. It's actually quite a lovely comment there from Robin Lynn's Holmes to sum up what we're talking about with the sad loss. And I'd say, we may be with different running clubs, all of us, but all I love as a community, we're all together. That's a lovely thing to say. It is. We're all different running clubs, we're all from different parts. We've all got the same ideas. We've all got the same goals, the same targets, and the same love of a sport. It's brilliant.
Yeah, that sums it up brilliant. I think that's a great way to finish the show. So I want to thank the team for coming on tonight. I want to thank Skechers.co.uk for sponsoring this award-winning podcast. We are at the National Running Show in a couple of weeks. If you've not signed up for the Shakeout group run at 5-something o'clock, I would strongly recommend you do it, because I'm probably going to have to close it because it's getting out of control now. Okay, it's getting a little. And if you're one of the brands that are there, I would probably recommend you hanging about at the end, because there's going to be like 500 customers just sitting there waiting for you to just like spam with all goods. I've got to give a shout out to sportshoes.com for not giving anybody any Alpha Fly frees this week. I gave them a mention, Admin. I gave them a mention. And that's it. We are back live, I hope, unless we've been given a lawsuit by them next week. I'm live on Monday, by the way, where I'm going to talk more about those shoes and what happened. And I think that's it. So thanks very much. Be safe this weekend. Have fun. Play in the mud. Yeah. Don't get too wet. And we'll see you all next week.